Ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you and welcome to the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida for the featured bout of the evening. Brought to you by DiBella Entertainment along with Seminole Warriors Boxing in association with the Seminole Tribe of Florida. This bout is sanctioned by the WBC, the President Jose Suleiman, Supervisor Juan Sanchez, along with the Florida State Athletic Commission, the Chairman Ramiro Ortiz, Executive Director Thomas Malloy. Introducing our three judges scoring this bout from ringside, from Puerto Rico, Raul Nieves, from Florida, Michael Pernick, and from Mexico, Alejandro Rochin. And our third man of the ring, a referee in charge. He'll be giving instructions after the introductions from Florida, Tommy Kimmins. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Welterweight Championship of the World. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, it's time for the main event of the evening. Introducing to you first, the challenger on my right in the blue corner, wearing white trunks with multicolored trim, fighting out of Miami, Florida, by way of Monteria, Colombia. He weighed in at 146 1/2 pounds. His record stands at 21 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw, with 16 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, moving up in weight and challenging for the title, please welcome the IBF Junior Welterweight Champion of the World, known as Iron Twins, Juan Urango. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner, the defending world champion, wearing white trunks with black trim and fighting out of Winter Haven, Florida. He weighed in at a trim and ready 145 3/4 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign to the ring with a record of 24 wins, no losses, 19 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, making the third defense of his title, please welcome the undefeated WBC Welterweight Champion of the World, introducing Andre Berto. And once again, a referee in charge now to give instructions, Tommy Kimmins.
Gentlemen, this is the main event. 12 rounds for the WBC Welterweight Championship of the World. And I gave you the instructions. I want to remind you, this audience here to watch you fight, so keep it clean. Touch them up.
Okay, so we're ready to go. Urango and Berto. Get a good look at Berto. Now Urango across the way. So opening round of the action. Urango, the left-hander, so we'll see if we get a right-hand lead coming from Berto. Berto with a good sneaky right hand popping in there. Nice quick left hook by Berto. Quick hands, quick feet by Berto. Really has turned out to be a top-flight throw. With a lot of the special qualities of the elite fighters in boxing. He showed a lot of them against Palazzo. The veteran Palazzo made him dig deep. Berto, this is his second consecutive southpaw. Only this one is not as tall and lanky. Tonight he's facing a guy that comes forward, often straight. So that could work for his right hand. Right hand by Berto. Urango tries to muscle it. Have to be careful about the clash of heads with these aggressive styles. Good right hand by Berto, the head by Urango.
Wait! Step back. Watch your head. Left hand and right hand.
Took a battering ram. Left hand by Urango as the Berto chant erupts. Good left hook by Berto and then ties up Urango. So round one goes into the books, and a good one for Berto.
Listen to me. Exactly what we worked on. See what I told you?
Huh?
It's actually a little slower than what I thought.
Slow,
Okay, listen to me. When you use that jab, slide back like you have been, wait for him to reach, and then counter. All right?
Right hand,
Yeah, right hand. Straight right. Get it straight right.
Si
no, lo podemos coger con el operador, ¿ok? Vamos a trabajarlo, que se puede. Bien cauteloso, dame cubo. Aquí, acá, vamos. ¿Ok? Vamos arriba.
Berto on the outside survives that headbutt. See what the styles these guys have. The uppercut was blocked by the gloves, and then the head of Urango was there. This fight has the potential to be a serious case of headbutt-itis. Let's see if these guys can settle it without that. So into round two we go. Andre Berto from Winter Haven, Florida, 24-0, 19 knockouts. At the 147-pound championship, and 140-pound champion Juan Urango, the left-hander, trying to come up in weight and take Berto's belt. And during the pre-fight hoopla this week, someone asked Urango which of the belts would he renounce if he won, because he'd be holding both the 140 and a 147-pound championship. Berto said, don't even worry about it. He's not taking mine. Again, Urango trying to tie up. Good left hook by Berto. Good right hand by Berto.
Let him go and work. Let him go and work.
Right hand by Berto catches Urango coming in. Urango appears willing to take three in order to fire one very good one. Urango looks like he could easily fight, not only at 147, but even at 154. A tall, muscular upper body. Good right hand by Berto. And that hand speed for Berto, his signature weapon, is showing itself as the difference so far.
Here you go. Listen to me though. Don't slide. Don't circle first. You're sliding 2 and 3 times back. I don't need that. All right? I need you to slide and then circle. Don't wait for him to get so close before you start moving. Initiate, control everything. Be first.
Nice deep breath, baby.
With Urango coming in, Berto lands a good right hand that comes back and lands another one. It's his speed against Urango's power at this point. And the speed is winning.
Hacerlo, vamos a hacerlo, te sintió las manos, ¿viste? ¿Ok? Vamos, caballito.
Hay que pegar las manos, hay que pegar las manos.
Sigue insistiendo.
Round 3 is scheduled for 12. Andre Berto's 147-pound welterweight championship on the line against 140-pound champion Juan Urango. It's a real battle for position on the inside. Urango using his head, trying to be a bull. Urango with the dip and then the left hand. It's a good right hand by Berto. Berto misses, then scores with a left hook. Berto using this whole ring and trying to make it look to the judges that it's purposeful movements. That's very important. You have to look like you're not in retreat. He is scoring with some good right hands down the middle. Good right hand by Berto. Body shot by Berto, and Urango looking like he's got abs of steel. Just keeps coming forward. Based on the look of their bodies, you would think it was Berto moving up to Urango's division, but he's got Urango on the canvas. It's a slip. But did he send a message? Even a slip is not wasted. Right hand by Berto. 2 more coming through by Berto. Good uppercut by Berto. Good left hook by Berto again.
Vamos, conmigo, vamos. Vuelve. Vuelve. Urango, cuando estemos adentro, hay que buscar
Dale por
la...
arriba, dale por arriba. No, no, arriba no.
No, leche, no, leche. Urango, cuando estemos adentro, hay que buscar la manera de meter las manos, ¿ok? Cuando él te esté agarrando, ¿ok? Hazte ver que tú eres el hombre allá arriba, empújalo, lo que sea.
You're inside. Instead of putting your arms around it, dip and slide out of there, all right? Dip and spin him out of there, okay?
Nice deep breath, Mikey.
Only hold for split seconds and he won't call that unless you're...
Berto continuing to out-hustle Urango. Good shot to the shoulder, just missed the chin. Initially, he thought it was a knockdown, but called a slip. Did Berto get to Urango? As we start round 4, Andre Berto undefeated, 24-0, 19 knockouts, defending his 147-pound title against Juan Urango at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. I'm Dave Bontempo at ringside. Glad you've tuned in wherever you're watching this throughout the world. Good uppercut by Berto. From an outside distance, he scored with it. They tell you not to throw uppercuts from too far out because you could get countered. And the only way to get away with it is to have the kind of speed that Berto does, where you fire it and you get out. Good right hand lead by Berto. He has outlanded Urango by a 2-1 margin for the first 3 rounds. And this is a real test of a guy's lateral movement. Urango is coming straight at him. Berto needs to move, and if he's fast enough, then this style will play right into his hand. If you make a mistake against Urango, you pay. Good right hand by Berto. He hurt Urango with that one because Urango walked right into it. Exactly the point I've been making here. Urango coming straight in. Berto looking to find the angles. As again, the heads clash. That was just muscle by Urango, almost throwing Berto down. Good jab by Urango, good left hook by Berto, uppercut by Berto, just missed. And this one, starting to heat up, like other big fights these guys have been in. Right hand and a left hook by Berto, scoring a split second ahead of what would have been a big shot by Urango. Two good body shots by Urango closing the round, and then he misses one.
Dipping and holding. Move like you need. Listen.
Who won now?
Don't worry about that. Who cares? We need this.
He won that round?
Listen, work. Let's do it. Touch him, circle him. What you're doing, you're touching, you're dipping, and you're holding, right? You need to roll out, all right? It's that simple. Keep working like you're working. When you're in there, as soon as you get in the hold part, I need this. Dip. Don't sit there and let him hold, because they're starting to get a little end.
Urango bringing the best out of Berto, crowds him. He missed, Berto scored. And he scores too. We're moving to round 5. Andre Berto and Juan Urango hooked up in a good battle here. The battle of champions. Berto at 147 pounds and Urango at 140. And they're both fighting like guys who are used to bullying their way through competition. Good left hook by Berto. Tries to line him up behind that double jab. Leaping hook by Berto and then an uppercut. Even though Urango is the one moving up in weight, he is the one bullying Berto. And for Berto, this is nothing new. He's a little smallish by division standards. He's used to getting up and underneath his opponent's jab and getting in and doing the number inside. The right hand by Berto, and the quick feet. Left hook by Berto. Berto circling. Urango trying to walk him down. And he's been able to do that against a lot of opponents. But what makes this one different for him is that Berto has the quick feet. And he gets out of there. So Urango will need some other special dimension to take care of Berto. And that's what you like to see in a fight of this level. You know, these guys have to find a little bit more. Meanwhile, Berto doing a great job from different angles, coming in and flying in with shots on Urango. So the elusive Berto continues to handcuff Urango.
Close, you're reaching. All right, no more of this. Look at foot position like we worked on. And dip in there, and just spin in.
I'm not.
It's simple. It's simple.
Okay.
Quieto, campeón.
Respira profundo.
Oye, cuando él se baje así, no lo perdones, métele el upper duro.
Cuando él se te baje, da un pasito atrás, Urango, y mete los upper con rabia, con coraje y el gancho encima, ¿está bien?
No lo perdones a ninguno.
Exactly. Don't wait for it to come. That's why you're only time you get touched when you wait on it. Don't wait. Punch. Set the pace for everything.
Let's go.
We go into round 6. Andre Berto having his way here against Juan Urango in a battle of champions. Coming from the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. I'm Dave Bontempo at ringside. Berto, the good mixture of hand and foot speed, using the whole ring, able to frustrate the charging Urango and catch him on angles. There was a good shot of Urango coming straight in and Berto standing up and firing a big uppercut, which just missed. Good left hook by Berto and a right hand from the other side as Urango tries in vain to cut off the ring. I mentioned at the top of the telecast how a lot of stakes for these guys on top of the normal ones. That's because the recent decision of Floyd Mayweather Jr. to come back into boxing. So Mayweather, who will be fighting Juan Manuel Marquez, is a target for both of these guys. Because all of a sudden, the potential big payday has landed in the division. And it elevates everyone's intensity. Good right hand by Berto. So what you want to do is you want to win a fight like this, look good doing it, and then sound those promotional drum beats. Left hook by Berto. Look at Berto, you see the intangible benefit of the quickness. Side to side. Jab, then a hook, then an uppercut from an angle. You never seem to catch him flush. Good uppercut by Berto. What speed here against the charging opponent. Really shows you what happens when you're just 1 second ahead of your opponent, time after time. The guy can be dangerous, but you can make it look like you're toying with him. So as we come up to the halfway point, Berto is moving in a groove.
Respira conmigo, vamos, vamos. Conmigo, Durango, vamos conmigo. Bien profundo, Durango. Vamos. Eso es, caballo. Muy bien, muy bien. Sigue insistiendo en esos planos que nos vamos a llevar, ¿ok?
All night long, baby. This touching. This touch.
Okay.
You're touching. You ain't got to throw big punches. Bop. Circle. Bop, bop, bop. Fast. You touch him. Don't try and blast. Just touch him.
Put the rounds in the bank, Bert.
When you're inside, get that position I told you about and put him in.
You get another look at Berto. Sweet right hand, and then he's out of harm's way. Look at the movement, and then he punches right after that. That is vintage Berto. Into the second half of the fight we go. An excellent first half for Andre Berto. Jab and a hook by Berto. Right hand by Berto. There's Urango coming in. Urango fighting, just trying to catch Berto flush, and then hoping to get his offense going from there. Berto probably pitching a shutout. Left hook. Good uppercut by Berto, and it's all about that anticipation. This is a clinic in reflexes. Watching how he springs into action. He finds the key and he jumps on it. And he's not doing this to an ordinary fighter. He's the reigning IBF 140-pound champion who can't get near him. A good hook by Berto. Hook again. Even while Urango tries to stalk him, trap him, it's Berto getting off the mark first. This is the classic cat-mouse chase. The mouse is eating the cat alive. Urango's stalking, but Berto beating him to the punch almost every time. Just beautiful.
He's gonna start trying more stuff, understand me? Huh? He's gonna start trying a little desperation, so breathe. Breathe. Let's do it. Same thing, just touch him. Just touch him. Same thing we're applying, still apply the same thing. When you do get inside, which you will, get your ass in position and bend your knees. Hear me? Get your ass in position and bend your knees, because I need a little body work in there. I don't want to give up nothing free. I need a little body work. We're inside. We ain't had much body work. I need a little body work. And then it'll be a done deal, okay? Then he won't be able to move.
Berto, that's how you slice up an opponent. Land and get out of harm's way. That's really good foot speed. In the corner, as we come out for round 8, they're telling Berto, mix some body work in with it. Then you won't have to worry about Urango moving towards you. See if he does that or if he likes to stay outside. Berto boxing easily, moving well. Uppercut by Berto, just missing. So far, Berto trusting his legs more than wanting to gamble on the inside against Urango. And it's a tough call for a fighter whether to take that advice and go inside when the corner wants it, when you've done so well outside. And you remember the guy who might be a good puncher. The first minute, Berto did not. But here he does get in a little bit and mixes it up. Mixes it up well with Urango. Good uppercut by Berto. Urango just cannot get to it. In the beginning, Urango was trying to pull him, work him to the body and slow him. But that hasn't happened for him. Berto has been too quick. Good left hook by Berto. And with the quick feet, he's able to score, get out of harm's way, and then be back in scoring position after that.
ref. Berto is holding all the time. Do something.
Tranquilo, vamos, conmigo, ¿no? Vuelve. Vuelve. Vamos. Hay que apretar, Durango. ¿Ok? Hay que apretar. Hay que tratar de meter nuestras manos.
Estamos atrás. El upper de izquierda, no tires volado.
Don't change anything. In that water. Gargle it.
Berto went outside, then listened to what the corner wanted. And worked it well on the inside. That was a good hook. And then a good right hand.
No le pegues, Errol, contigo. Pasó atrás y sigue trabajando.
Está bien, no bájate agua. Dame un poquito.
Bien donde la Juan.
Vamos.
Ninth round action. Andre Berto doing a number on Juan Urango in this Battle of Champions. Berto, the 147-pound champion, 24-0, 19 knockouts in his third defense. Urango, the IBF 140-pound champion, just has not been able to catch up with the fleet-footed Berto. Sense the urgency for Urango. He's trying to cut off the ring now on Berto. But he needs this fight to be in a phone booth. The ring is too big for him. Good uppercut by Berto. Left hand by Urango. A good hook by Berto. And then up, moving, dancing. Catches Urango coming in, scores with that hook. Right hand lead by Berto against the lefty. Urango trying to bull Berto here. To no avail. Berto with the hook and then moving left. Good right hand lead by Berto. He is making this look easy.
Él está quedado, Juan.
You're winning rounds, but I'm saying you got to use a jab. Don't make them harder like they are. Don't run it
Look,
like
guys, we got 3 rounds to go, and I'm trying not to take a point.
He's not doing okay.
You better quit your holding. I've been working with you all night. I want to quit the holding right now, okay?
Listen to me. Get your position and bend your knees when you're in there. Where's some water? We have water? Yeah, man. Well, like I told you, baby, you got to get position. You're good.
Vamos arriba.
Cuando él te agarre, da un paso atrás y sigue tirando. No dejes que te
Vamos,
agarre.
nos quedan 3 asaltitos. Vamos a terminarlo fuerte, ¿ok? Tratando, miren, metiendo las manos con mucha fuerza. El gancho, no jales para atrás el cuerpo.
One of the few times in the fight in the last round, Urango landed more punches than Berto. Part of that is he threw a lot more. but the higher quality of punches in the round were Berto's. So in the 10th round we go. Berto again scoring with the hook and moving to his left. Urango having trouble cutting him off, but he does have him cornered here for a second. Good right hand lead by Berto. Neither fighter's been hurt, neither fighter down. Berto, Urango's chin may seem like a brick wall. He hits it and no impact, but he is scoring well. And he's doing what boxers should do. You rack up the points. If the guy's not going to go, you get the points win. Berto has everything on these punches. Scores with good shots. And then Urango takes it and keeps coming. We've seen very little in the area of combination punching. One good sharp shot at a time. For Berto, it's land a shot and move. And that becomes an even better strategy for him as this fight wears it to its final stages. They're calling for him to mix it up more in the corner on the inside, but he doesn't have to gamble that way. Left hook by Berto, gets in. Good right hand by Berto. Heads almost come together. Good right hand here by Berto. Urango wild as the 10th comes to a close.
Position. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Okay. Listen to me. Get your position when you're inside. Listen to me. Listen to me. Get yourself into position. Pull your hand inside. Get that left and dig that body like you worked on. Okay. Pull that left hand free, because that's what they're going to call holding on. They're going to call holding on that left hand.
Campeón, tenemos dos asaltos, ¿ok? Dos asaltos para acabarlo, ¿ok? Vamos a hacerlo, ¿verdad? Podemos, vamos, vamos.
There's former heavyweight champion Riddick Bowe, who wants to fight again and has come down to the Hard Rock Casino with some of his handlers to try to make that happen. So he's trying to get the Hard Rock interested in one of his fights. In this fight, it has been all Andre Berto. 147-pound champion, who's 24-0 with 19 knockouts, going against 140-pound IBF champion Juan Urango. And Urango has come up with a good effort, coming straight ahead, trying to trap Berto, keeping the pace of the fight hot. But all he's done, unfortunately for himself, is bring out the best in Berto, because Berto has been able to move laterally, punch on angles, get the one shot in at a time, and get out. Good uppercut by Berto. Now, in the corner of Berto, for the third time in the last 5 rounds, he was told again about getting inside, getting the angle, and trading. And there are times when Berto follows that advice and gets some pretty good results. The big question, though, is whether he has to do it, being in the position he is in this fight. Good right hand by Berto. Finally gets a couple together there. But the punches have little effect on the charging Urango. And these are good shots by Berto. He gets full leverage, good extension, good torque. Really delivers practically a perfect punch, and Urango just keeps walking through it. So because of that, Berto has found that it's very difficult to hurt Urango, but he boils up the points, doing very nicely in that department. He outlanded him by 50 punches, and has a good edge in the power punching department as well.
Vamos, respira conmigo, vamos. Venga, vuelve.
A ponerle tape aquí, mira.
Dame la agua. Sube la cabeza. Vamos a salir fresco. Otra botella. Vamos.
Último asalto, Urango. Lo que no se haga ahora.
Championship round, baby. You the champion. Don't change anything.
Okay.
In and out, same thing. Work like we've been working.
No
we win.
war.
We win. We win. Huh?
Urango, hay que noquearlo. Hay que noquearlo, Urango.
So we start the final round, and 2 fighters as champions meeting in the ring. Andre Berto, the 147-pound champion. Juan Urango coming up from 140. Berto with everything to lose. His title is on the line. Urango with nothing to lose. His 140-pound belt is there. And he can get the 147-pound championship too. But for Berto, who has had an excellent performance, that's 2 good ones in a row. The Palazzo fight in January and this one here. And Urango has pulled himself closer in the power punching department. Gives you the indication of what will happen when he finds a fighter who's not as fast as Berto. Urango still looks strong, but he has been the victim of the speed of Berto. Berto has out-hustled him. Halfway through the final round of this one. I'm Dave Bontempo at ringside. As Berto tries to keep piling up important victories. Maybe off this, he gets either Floyd Mayweather or Juan Manuel Marquez later this year. I'd like to see him against Mayweather. Somebody with speed similar to Mayweather. Could be a good test for Floyd. Left hook by Berto. He slips. Durango could not get there quickly enough. So as Durango tries to tee off, Berto tries not to give an inch. Good hook by Berto. So the crowd is going to get up and give a standing ovation. Two guys who went at it. Speed versus power. And tonight, the speed of Andre Berto was in high form.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Michael Pernick scores the bout 117 to 111. Judges Raul Nieves and Alejandro Rochin both score the bout 118 to 110. All three in favor of the winner and still champion, Andre Berto.
Ladies and gentlemen, the officials are ready. The fighters are ready. From Union Boxing Promotions, this is 12 rounds of boxing for the WBA Welterweight Championship of the World. So for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, from Donetsk, Ukraine, Dami Gospoda, let's get ready to rumble!
And now it's time for the WBA World Welterweight title. The Magic Man gets another chance to get a world title in his second weight division after ruling the IBF as a light welterweight champion, whereas the man who now holds his title, WBA welterweight champion, Vyacheslav Senchenko, with an opportunity to defend this title here in front of his hometown crowd and the chance to audition before America for you to judge him on his physical abilities as a boxer. So this is our main event of the evening, presented by Integrated Sports in association with Union Boxing, and our referee, Steve Smoger, getting ready now to go ahead and bring the two combatants to the center of the ring, and there is the opening bell. The Magic Man, always in the wild outfit. He is dressed in the black and the red outfit. The champion, Senchenko, in the gold trunks.
And right off the hop, Paulie trying to do exactly what he has to do if he wants to win this fight. He has to disrupt the rhythm of Senchenko, who tends to fight in his own rhythm, ones and twos, putting the jab out there. Senchenko has a great jab, but he doesn't tend to double it up. And if Paulie can do that, he can give some trouble to Senchenko.
Senchenko, usually a very slow starter, takes him a while to go ahead and get going. So let's see if he starts working the jab that Freddie Rhodes talked about. Said it's going to be a much faster jab than anything the Magic Man can bring. So let's see if that, in fact, plays itself out.
Paulie trying to start fast, pumping that jab out there. That's so critical for him. He cannot let Senchenko get into a rhythm. He needs to be the volume puncher here. He needs to be active.
So far, the Magic Man very good at closing the distance between himself and Senchenko, not letting Senchenko use any kind of size advantage. But when we talk about the height, yes, Senchenko does have the advantage in the height, but it's even in terms of reach, both at 70 inches.
Paulie getting low, using his legs. But this is typical Malignaggi. He's not running, he's standing in the pocket and trying to stay in the center of the ring. Control the geometry of the ring. And right now, maybe trying to set a trap for Senchenko to rattle off some combinations.
Paulie showing that hand speed. So far, I gotta say, Paulie, the Magic Man has the advantage of the hand speed.
And on pure activity, he's winning this round so far.
Whereas on the part of Senchenko, it looks like a very mechanical type of a jab, like he reaches out with it rather than snapping it.
Another good sign if you're a Malignaggi fan. He's not afraid right now to just score those shots to the body. Senchenko fighting tall. Malignaggi has to punch up to land those punches, but he's not afraid to take what he's given.
I think the Magic Man realized that he's got an advantage in hand speed, so he's going to use it. The Magic Man coming off a win against Orlando Lora in his last fight.
Malignaggi taking what he was given a moment there. Senchenko stalled, dropped his head for some reason. Malignaggi pops a jab in there.
The Magic Man. And I think this first round belongs to the Magic Man. Now let's see if he can continue to go ahead and do that. Again, the physical condition is going to be very, very important for him to be able to go ahead and maintain that. This is the second round of a 12-round championship fight for the WBA Welterweight Championship, the champion. That is Vyacheslav Senchenko in the gold, taking on the Magic Man, Paulie Malignaggi, the man from Brooklyn, in the red and the black.
More movement, the better for Paulie Malignaggi. Again, he's not a runner, but he does use his legs for defense, and he uses them very well, and he uses them to give himself angles, something he did very well in the first round.
Crouching down is the Magic Man, not giving Senchenko the opportunity to go ahead and land that jab. And you can see Senchenko wants to work behind the jab, but Paulie's just not letting him establish that, Corey.
He can't fall into the trap of trying to counter Senchenko, though, because Senchenko has the power advantage. He's tall, and if he gets that jab working, he can be tough to beat. Paulie, quite simply, all night needs to be first.
Yes, that's a great point, because the fact that when you look back at his fight against Khan and against Hatton, it was when he stopped throwing punches that he got in trouble. And he has an incredible ability to be able to take shots, and sometimes unnecessarily.
And remember, he's fighting on the road. I'm not saying that every fighter on the road is going to get robbed, but when you're fighting away from home, you need to make sure that you catch the judge's attention early and often. You need to put extra rounds in the bank sometime. Paulie knows all about that from his outings in Texas.
Oh, yeah, he went all the way to Houston there to take on Juan Diaz. He also traveled to England to go ahead and face some of the opponents. No, he's willing to go ahead and travel wherever it takes to go and get a title, and that's admirable. And right now, he's doing a brilliant job of what he needs to do, and that is to get there first and often.
Senchenko is starting to land, though, and that's because Paulie's letting him get off first. Paulie's been giving up some space in the center of the ring there, not moving around laterally.
For Senchenko, when he won the title against Nuzhenko, it was the same thing. Started out very slow, and finally from the second round on is when he started finding his mark, and that's how he was able to win the title back in 2009. They're urging the Magic Man to not wait. Not wait. Keep flicking that jab and keep getting there first.
Again, it doesn't matter what it is. Paulie just needs to throw it out there. He needs to simply move his hands. And he's done a good job of it for the most part through 2 rounds.
And he doesn't necessarily have to aim it for the face either. He can just aim it around the shoulders and he's going to hit something, but just not allow Senchenko to go ahead and establish his base of power. As the final seconds of round number 2, of which I think is another Magic Man round.
I think you have to give that round to Malignaggi, although there were good spots for Senchenko. He landed a pair of good left hooks.
So we'll see if Senchenko can get untracked here. So now you see Paulie moving around, a lot of lateral movements there, Corey.
Yeah, he's poking that jab in there, and he's also gone to the body a bit, and that's something that early in his career, Malignaggi didn't do. And starting in and around the Juan Diaz fights, as maybe the foot speed started to go a little bit, he started to be able to fight better on the inside. He's still not a terrific in-fighter, but he's added elements to his game that have allowed him to compete moving forward.
You see the swelling now below the left eye of Senchenko, recipient of some of those jabs by Paulie.
Senchenko saying he doesn't need water, so he's certainly not winded through 6 minutes of activity here.
35 years of age, the champion, Vyacheslav Senchenko. Paulie the Magic Man Malignaggi trying to go ahead and get his second title in a second weight division.
Senchenko there, you'll notice, right off the bell, Benny, he almost ran to the center of the ring. He's trying to establish that position. I think he's starting to notice just how critical that's going to be. The placement in the ring, the geometry, to who gets their hand raised at the end of this fight.
Very elusive is the torso of the Magic Man. But again, he keeps those hands around his waist, which is tough to go ahead and pack power when the hands come from that angle and that distance. Magic Man keeps trying to be first, and that's what he needs to do. Stay out in front of Senchenko, get there first, not allow Senchenko to get that jab going. And see, he's backing up Senchenko.
Here's what's important to note. Senchenko isn't countering anything. Anything that Paulie throws out there, Senchenko is trying to block it and then reset and do something. He's not adept at countering. He'll wait till you finish. So if you're active in first, you can be effective.
But that's the beauty of the strategy that Eric Brown worked on with the Magic Man. Just throw a lot of shots, and it doesn't have to be for the head. Aim it towards the shoulder. But what you're doing is you're not allowing Senchenko to set his base of power to throw anything.
Senchenko said that Freddie Roach added elements to his game, added new combinations in his offensive arsenal. We haven't seen any of that through round 3.
But it's always been, when you thought of the European fighters, you thought of them as very mechanical type of fighters, very upright, have to fight a certain kind of a rhythm. Well, the Magic Man is disrupting that right now because he's not allowing him to come in and go ahead and throw. That right there, you saw a jab right there. That was probably the very first of the snapping jabs by Senchenko.
Well, see, that's what's dangerous about fighting a guy who's so well-schooled and mechanical like Senchenko. Yeah, it does have its flaws, but it also means that you can't get off your game because they're so consistent, as Senchenko is being right now, with stepping with that jab, that if Paulie takes his foot off the pedal just a little bit, Senchenko is going to take control.
And Corey, that is the key point. He cannot take his foot off the pedal. He has established this, it has worked, and he's got to be able to keep the concentration to do this for 12 rounds. That's the only way he's going to leave here with a title. Final seconds of round number 3.
Malignaggi's corner telling him in and out, another good round.
Round number 4 of a scheduled 12-round WBA Welterweight Championship fight. The champion, Vyacheslav Senchenko, in the gold, taking on the Magic Man, Paulie Malignaggi, the Brooklyn-born warrior, coming here in search of a title. So far, the first 3 rounds, I have scored all 4 the Magic Man, as has my partner, Corey Erdman, who's also scored it for the Magic Man. So let's see if he can continue, if he continues to keep getting there first. Senchenko, on the other hand, in that 3rd round, was finally able to go ahead and land some jabs. Not a lot of them, but again, it seems like good jab right there. Very sharp jab landed right there by Senchenko.
Senchenko is starting to lead the atmosphere.
Yeah, that's the first time he's been able to get his backhand into the fight. So let's see if that changes the complexion of this fight. Senchenko now working behind the jab and getting the backhand into the fight.
And remember, it was against Amir Khan when Paulie noticed that he couldn't out-jab Amir Khan. That he didn't get discouraged necessarily, but he was flummoxed. He didn't know what to do. And if Senchenko can start pushing that jab out there first, even if it's not faster, he's going to have some success against Malignaggi, and it's starting to show here in round 4.
Senchenko now has increased his lateral movement in the way he's throwing his punches now from different angles. He's not just going strictly for the head. Some of those shots are going down low, and again, that is a great strategy used where you aim those shots around the solar plexus area, and then they land on something. The Magic Man staying busy inside.
Good work on the inside there by Malignaggi. That's important. There's not going to be a lot of fighting on the inside in that territory here, but when there is, he has to get off first.
Referee Steve Smoger doing a great job of letting these guys fight. Very clean fight, a lot of punching, not a lot of holding, not a lot of grabbing. Very, very clean fight.
That's the reputation of Steve Smoger. He lets fights go and he lets them unfold.
The only blemish so far is there is a swelling underneath the left eye of Senchenko.
Eric Brown telling Malignaggi to get that right hand up, and that's a good idea because he just ate another left hook.
The Magic Man, who was training in Milan to get acclimated to the time change, he feels he did all the right things to get himself in great physical shape for this fight, and he feels he is there. And now the crowd's starting to get into this fight. And this is round number 5 of a scheduled 12-rounder for the WBA Welterweight Championship. The champion, Vyacheslav Senchenko, and the Magic Man Malignaggi trying to win his 2nd world title in his 2nd division. Malignaggi keeps trying to go ahead and throw that jab.
That's what Paulie needs to do, the left, the right, and then move away. You could be in the pocket, but you have to be moving. Moving your hands, moving your feet.
He can't wait, Corey, because that's what I'm sensing here. As he waits, all of a sudden that left jab of Senchenko is starting to find its mark. And that's what Freddie Roach was talking about. He felt that it was going to be the jab of Senchenko that was going to win the fight for him. Paulie's not given the type of lateral movements I was expecting out of him. It seems like that would bode well for him if he just upped his lateral movements on Senchenko.
Well, he slowed down a little bit, but again, Senchenko's making him think, and he's also showing a little bit of head and upper body movement. He's not all over the place, but he's giving some different looks here and making Paulie think about what he throws out.
The Magic Man doing a good job of being an elusive target. And again, that takes a lot out of a fighter when they miss cleanly like that. And Senchenko has done that on quite a few occasions in this fight.
Paulie wisely moves forward as he senses that he's near the ropes. He doesn't want to be there against a guy who could be a pretty good puncher at welterweight.
The Magic Man still flicking that very quick jab out there and relying on that to back up Senchenko. You notice,
that's a slip. We call it a slip.
Steve Schmoser now calling the little time for the tape around. He noticed that being loose.
Now, if Malignaggi is getting tired, this is an opportunity. Get a good deep breath and try and finish strong. But this could be the type of round that's up in the air.
Ever the warrior, ever the showman, the man from Brooklyn, the Magic Man. Senchenko now trying to load up. What Paulie cannot do is stand there and not throw. If he gets in the kill zone, the Magic Man has to throw punches.
Paulie's also falling into a habit here, Benny, of always slipping to his right, and that's where that right hand could come over the top from Senchenko.
Yeah, because he's dipping his right shoulder.
And fighters who hold their right hand low, pardon me, hold their left hand low, tend to always slip to the right.
Final seconds of round number 5. A very close round.
You need to give him a check on the scorecard.
And that's the thing, when you get the difference in size, at the end, towards the later part of the round, the big guy's still big, while the fast guy can't slow down. So here we go, the 6th round of a scheduled 12-rounder for the WBA Welterweight Championship of the World. The champion, he is Vyacheslav Senchenko in the goal. He's taking on the Magic Man from Brooklyn. That's what keeps the Magic Man from having the power. See, he dips over to the right. So by the time that jab goes out in front of him, he's not able to pack any kind of a power coming back off it. It's a glancing blow that he ends up throwing from there. It's all arms.
Well, and he's kind of accepted that he doesn't have the power, and he's turned himself into a pure fighter, a pure speed fighter as a result. So he's not even looking to land power. He's just looking to score. That's a good right hand from Senchenko. Paulie has to be careful.
That time Senchenko led with the right hand and found his mark.
Paulie has been damaged by right hands brutally in the past. Senchenko known for his jab, but a hard right hand as well.
And he's trying to get that back hand, which is the right hand now, is Senchenko into the fight. The Magic Man shots are not the crisp ones that we saw in the first 3 rounds of snapping, getting out of there, throwing another one, snapping.
Good little exchange in the center of the ring. One thing I noticed is that when Senchenko notices Malignaggi is jabbing, he's trying to step and jab with him. He thinks that his can get there first. Notice that cut, though, Benny.
Yeah.
That has opened up on the face of Senchenko.
And that's something we spotted in the second round, below the left eye. Let's see if the Magic Man finds a mark for that. That is actually not a bad area. The bad cuts would be above the eye if that blood would get into the eye.
Good stuff from Malignaggi. That's the kind of combinations that we saw early in his career when Paulie was so fun to watch, so flashy. Seeing spurts of that on occasion here at welterweight.
Good jab, and you can tell that Senchenko now feels like he is starting to find the distance now with that straight right hand.
The pace really starting to quicken here, Benny. This is some high-level stuff from both guys.
Senchenko even now working the body now from time to time, going down below, trying to go ahead and offset the eyesight that the Magic Man is seeing, the angles of his punches. Senchenko not busy enough so far, I think, to win this round. I think the Magic Man is still getting there first.
This is a round that you could give to Malignaggi, although it was definitely tight.
And then we talk about the swelling, and that is starting to swell up now, so that could possibly impair the vision of Senchenko if, in fact, the Magic Man continues to go ahead and attack that eye.
It's a pretty deep cut, but thankfully it's far enough below the eye that it might just be out of range where it would affect the vision of Senchenko.
You know, Corey, I don't think it's a cut yet. I think it's just the swelling right now that it's a potential for that. This is the 7th round of a scheduled 12-rounder for the WBA Welterweight Championship of the World. The champion, Yaroslav Senchenko.
I've counted 5 or 6 jabs that have landed already early in this round from Malignaggi. Good start.
And that's a good strategy by the Magic Man to just be quick to the jab, and then get away. And he's definitely found a target for that left eye. He is aiming those left jabs right at the left eye of Senchenko.
Senchenko keeps pawing at that eye as well, so maybe it is affecting him. Even if it isn't the vision, maybe just the cut, the swelling, whatever it might be, the abrasion is bothering Senchenko right now.
Well, again, this is all part of the psyche of the fighter. Here he is in his biggest fight of his life, and he's starting to go ahead and feel that and wondering if that's going to impair his vision, if that's going to make it any tougher. He's got a very elusive target in front of him in the Magic Man. The mouthpiece now coming out. And he keeps rubbing that eye. You're right, Corey.
He keeps pawing at it, and it's puffing up right below that eye. It's getting dangerous. Dangerously close to the bottom eyelid of Senchenko.
And Paulie going to quickly try to go ahead and make Senchenko into a one-eyed fighter as he keeps targeting that left eye.
This is a very, very good round
there it
for
is.
Malignaggi, doubling and tripling up that jab right on that eye. It's hard enough to catch up with Paulie Malignaggi when you can see him. This is a major disadvantage if it continues to play out like this.
So this might have just picked up Paulie's spirits to all of us notice, to start noticing just how big that swelling has gotten.
Even in another language, I can tell Senchenko's corner telling him to jab. And if he can't see, if you have impaired vision, you need to get closer. Senchenko needs to fight this at a much closer distance where he can feel around and use his instincts to figure out his opponent.
And he's not turning that jab, Corey. He's not turning the jab at all. He's throwing it out there, but he's not able to go ahead and turn it and snap it. It's not a snapping jab that Senchenko is throwing the Magic Man's way.
Malignaggi has essentially won this round one-handed and done it fairly convincingly in my eyes.
But the concern is always with the Magic Man is his hands. You know, from throwing so many lefts, is that going to be, you know, he's going to have to face the consequences of that, of damaging the left hand.
Or is there a reason he's not throwing the right? Is the right hurt?
And again, we are unofficial when we say that round is for the Magic Man. The 3 judges scoring this are Guillermo Perez Pineda, Francisco Martinez, Jean-Louis Legano.
I have it 4-3 for Malignaggi. Benny, I know you have it 5-2, but I think we can both agree before this round that tide was maybe starting to turn for Senchenko, and that cut starting to pay dividends for the Magic Man.
And that's the beauty of it. I mean, that's the thing. When I don't ever really complain that much about the way the judges score, because there's 3 different angles. Look at that. That is a nasty swelling. It hasn't quite opened up yet. Maybe a little bit there on the inside by that.
There seems to be something above the eyelid, either on the eyebrow or above it as well, because there's a cotton swab on that as well.
But what worries me is that I'm not seeing the ice on it. I would be putting ice all over that.
Yeah, they seem concerned stopping the bleeding instead of taking the swelling down.
And to me, the swelling is even more dangerous because the swelling is going to impair the vision. Where the blood is going to come below the eye.
Well, what's strange is that I haven't even seen end swell in the corner. I saw ice in a Ziploc bag, but no cold compress, no cold metal to try to get rid of that swelling.
This is the 8th round of a 12-round clash for the WBA Welterweight Championship of the world. The champion, Władysław Senchenko. I have him behind in the cards as Paulie, the Magic Man, Malignaggi has come up with a great plan of getting there first, flicking that left jab in the right, and was able to catch repeatedly Senchenko under the left eye. And now that is a very, very severe swelling that could turn into a big, big problem for the champion.
Senchenko doing a better job this round, getting closer to Malignaggi, closing the distance, taking the initiative right now. He landed a scraping right hand earlier in the round and having a little more success as opposed to round 7 where he seemed completely fooled by the jab.
You know, Corey, even though I didn't like the fact that what Paulie does is that go to the right, leans to the right, and that doesn't give any power. That does give him a chance to get to the left eye of Senchenko, and that's what he's been doing beautifully in this fight. Tape now, all of a sudden Smoger calling that out. And again, now that's to the left, on the left glove. They already did the right glove. And again, if the conditioning is a factor, this gives the Magic Man a little chance to go ahead. And you see Steve now looking at the eye.
He's having a look, and he's going to take him to the
eye.
Oh, okay. I thought he was taking him to the doctor there for a second, but
no,
he
took a long look at that eye. And now let's see if the man from Brooklyn, New York.
I think Senchenko knows he has to step it up there. Good right hand counter by Malignaggi on the way in.
And now all of a sudden the Magic Man is showing his precision in the way he's throwing his shots, because he is definitely aiming for that left eye. Although he's attacking the body now.
Well, you don't have to bait Malignaggi into a fight. He wants to stand there and trade. That is his nature. That's the bravado of Paulie Malignaggi.
So maybe the dream is starting to play itself out for the Magic Man to win this title and come back to Brooklyn to defend it.
Now, it hasn't been officially indicated what that cut was caused by, Benny.
It was a punch.
No, it was absolutely. I thought it was a punch.
Definitely a punch. At no time did Steve Smoger signal anything other than it's a punch.
So here's something that nobody thought of heading into this fight. There could be a TKO looming for Paulie Malignaggi to win the welterweight title.
Oh, exactly. And the whole thing is going to be of the vision of Senchenko. Can he see out of that left eye? But even if they don't stop it, I think it's going to impair it. I think it's already taken away his quickness, because he's not able to go in there as relentless as he was, say, in the 4th or the 5th round, which I gave him both of those rounds. Now he's like dipping down, and he looks like a beaten fighter at this particular time. That's another round for the Magic Man.
I didn't notice the vampire mouth guard on Paulie Malignaggi, by the way. That's kind of cool.
And they signal for it to begin the 9th round of a scheduled 12-rounder for the WBA Welterweight Championship. The champion, Senchenko, in the gold, taking on the challenger, the Magic Man, Malignaggi in the red and the black. So we've been waiting for this great jab of the champion Senchenko to go ahead and unfold, and so far it has not. Let's see if he can get his back hand into the fight and maybe catch the Magic Man. But now Corey the Magic Man is fighting with great confidence.
He can't get too confident, though. I mentioned he has to put more rounds in the bank than he normally would. When you're fighting on the road, you have to have that mentality, and you can't get overconfident. I think Paulie has figured that out at this point in his career.
Well, if you're a judge, you can take this thing into consideration. Good right hand right there by Paulie. And you know what? I don't think Zinchenko ever saw that now. That shot, and you can see now how ugly that swelling has gotten. It's a black and blue.
There's some grizzly swelling on Zinchenko's eye. That's almost Antonio Margarito-esque.
Now,
is that it?
Stopping it. No, he's going to have it looked at. Or is he stopping the fight?
That's it.
Stopping the fight. Steve Smoger has stopped the fight.
Steve Smoger has stopped the fight, and Paulie Malignaggi is your new WBA welterweight champion.
And look at that, it's totally closed. That's a good move by Steve Smoger. That eye is totally closed. He could not see that right hand at all. Steve was right on top of it and stopped the fight. So now, the Magic Man, his dream comes true. He is going to get a chance to come back to Brooklyn and defend the title he was willing to travel the distance for. And here you get some of the action. Watch this right hand come in. At that time, he couldn't see. You could see right there, he was just leaning off to one side, unable to see that shot at all. Steve Smoger keeps watching him and sees now how close that eye is.
There was a moment just before that when Zinchenko looked up and looked puzzled. It was almost like he was asking, where is it coming from? And he was pawing at his eye, and Smoger noticed that and got him out of there. We mentioned he's a compassionate referee, and I think it was a good call because Zinchenko is going to have serious damage done.
I think it was a great call. Let this guy fight another day and let that thing heal itself and come back. This guy's going to be a champion. Give him a chance.
The official time, 1 minute and 10 seconds of round number 9. The winner by TKO victory and new WBA welterweight champion of the world from